Hey guys, this is Miss Mo. We are on number 19. Number 19 says an employee was paid this much money during the first half of the year. During the second half of the year, he made that much money. How much more was her income during the second half? So it's asking what's the difference between these? How much more money did she make? So how much more tells us to subtract or to minus. And we're going to do the big number minus the small number. So our big number is this 54,815. Our small number is this 33,933. Those are not lined up very good. Let me maybe rewrite this. Okay, now they're lined up good. I was going to mess that up. Okay, let's subtract. Because we want to know what's the difference between these two. One of them is higher than the other one. And by how much? Okay, well, let's subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. 1 minus 3 is not possible. So you look to the left and cross out that 8 and make it a 7. Then that 1 that you took away, you're going to slap it on that 1 to make 11. Okay, now 11 minus 3 is 8. Then 7 minus 9 is not a thing. So we're going to look to the left, change that 4 to a 3, change that 7 to a 17. Okay, now 17 minus this 9 is 8. Then 3 minus 3, 0. 5 minus 3, 2. Yay! D. Okay, let's keep going. It says round the number as indicated, 955 to the nearest thousand. Okay, so that means the thousand spot is right here. Okay, and if I want to round to the thousand spot, I look at the number next door to it, and it's a 9. And if it's 5 or more, you up the score. So, since that 9 is 5 or more, we have to up the score. And when I say up the score, there was a 0 right here, because there's nothing here. But we have to up it to a 1. And when we up it to a 1, everything after it becomes a 0. So this question was telling us to take 955 and either it round it up to 1,000, 2,000, or 3,000. Yeah, that's what it's saying when round it to 1,000. It's saying make it either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that kind of thousands, not with these extra numbers. Okay, let's keep going. 21. It says identify the exponent and the base, then simplify the expression. Well, the base is what you're sitting on. So the base is that 2. The 3 is the exponent. So it should be, oh, and then it says simplify. Well, 2 to the third means 2 times itself 3 times. So the exponent tells you how many times you're going to multiply your number. So since we have the number 2 as our base, that's what we're going to multiply. And the exponent 3 tells us we're going to write it down 3 times. Okay, so now let's do this chain multiplication. 2 times 2 is 4. Bring down this other times 2 so I can not forget about it. Okay, then 4 times 2 is 8. Yay! So it should be the exponent is 3, the base is 2, and the simplified expression is 8, or 8. So C. Okay, let's keep going. Number 22. to simplify the expression by using order of operations, okay? And let's remember, that's PEMDAS. And remember, if you only have multiply and divide in your problem, you go left to right. If you only have addition and subtraction in your problem, you go left to right. Okay, let's see what we have. We do not have anything happening inside parentheses, so goodbye P. There is no exponent, goodbye E. Let's see, do I only have multiply and divide left? I see a multiply, oh, and I see a plus. Okay, so, we're gonna do multiply. Let's do it. Let's multiply what we can. What can we multiply? This 9 times 4 and this 5 times 5. So 9 times 4 is 36. Then there's a plus sign, so write down plus sign. Then 5 times 5 is 25. Then there's a plus sign. And then there's 8. Okay, let's see here. So we took care of the M. There is no division. There is a bunch of addition. And we can just go left to right. So let's add these up. I think I'm going to put them on top of each other because that helps me. Okay, let's add. 6 plus 5 is 11. Plus 8 is 19. Carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 2 is 6. 69. C. Yee. Okay, let's check out 23. It has some square roots. Okay, well, PEMDAS, these square roots are actually the E. Don't ask me why. It's me. You'll figure it out later in college algebra. But square root means exponent 1/2. So that's why we have to do these first. Okay, so we still have an 18 and a dot, and then whatever the square root of 25 is. So that means what times what is 25, and it has to be the same two numbers. So 5 times 5. So we're gonna write 5. Okay, then there's a minus sign. Minus, there's a 15 and a dot. 15 and a dot. And then the square root of 25 again. Well, that's 5. Oh, poop. That's 5 with no house. So that looks kind of messy, but we have 18 times 5 minus 15 times 5. So now for PEMDAS, there's no parentheses. We already did the E. It was the square root. Now we need to do the multiply, and then we can subtract. So let's multiply. 18 times 5 is 90. 15 times 5 is 75. Okay, so 18 times 5 was 90. Minus 15 times 5 was 75. Okay, let's subtract those. You cannot subtract 0 minus 5, so we cross out the 9 and put an 8. Then we cross out that 0 and slap a 1 on front of it. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 8 minus 7 is 1. So our final answer is 15. B. Woo! Okay, let's look at 24. It says, the pictograph illustrates the number of cars sold during selected years. Each car represents 50 vehicles sold. How many cars were sold during the year 1996? Okay, let's look at 1996. Here we are. Okay, I have 3 cars. But how much is each car worth? It's worth 50. So to figure out the total, we have to take the 50 that each car is worth and multiply it by 3. 150. Let's keep going. Another picture. This one says the line graph shows the 2001 sales data for the Big D company. Find the increase in sales between month 8 and 11. Okay, well, let's go find month 8. The month is along the bottom. So 8 months is however much money is over here on the left, 64. Okay, so 8 was 64. Let's look at month 11. We go to 11. Hey, we go up to the curve and we go left. And it looks like it's about halfway up, halfway in between 68 and 72. What's halfway between 68 and 72? And it should be 70. Okay, so the question was find the increase in sales. So how did we get from 64 to 70? What did you have to add? You have to add the number 6. Yay. The only thing is, this 64 and 70, remember we got it from the left side? This 64 and 70, you can barely see it, but in the words, it says thousands of dollars. Okay. So that means that this is actually 64,000. And this 70 is actually 70,000. And this 6 is actually 6,000. Okay. So C. Woo. Okay, number 26. The list price of a car is this much money. The manufacturer offers a rebate of $801. What is the final price of the car? Okay, a rebate means you get to minus that money off. It means you don't have to pay it because the manufacturer, the guy that made the car, is going to give you that money back. Okay, so to find the final price of the car, we're going to take what we started with, 14,073, and we're going to subtract off the rebate. So we started with 14,073. The rebate is 801. And now let's subtract. 3 minus 1 is 2. 7 minus 0 is 7. 0 minus 8 is not a thing. So we cross out that 4, make it a 3, slap a 1 in front of the 0. So 10 minus 8 is 2. And then bring down the... the next sucker is 3 minus 0, and that's nothing. Then 1 minus nothing is 1. So 13,272. And the key word there was a rebate, means minus. Okay. 27 says one cook can make enough food for 350 people a night. How many cooks are needed to feed 1,400 people in a night? Okay. So we have these 1,400 people, and we're trying to cut them up, to split them up into groups of 350 so we can figure out how many cooks we need. Okay? Or if you don't like it that way, we can think of it as something else. We can think as 350 is for one night. Well, if you add another 350, what is that? That's 700, and that's for 2 nights. If you add another 350, I think we get 1050, and that's for 3 nights. But then let's try adding another 350, and we get 0, 0, carry the 1, 1,400. And that's after 4 nights. So the question was, one cook can make enough food for 350 people in a night. How many cooks are needed to feed 1,400 people at night? We need 4 cooks. So we split up that 1,400 4 different ways. Or if you didn't like that version, you could try division, and you could say 350 goes into 1,400. But that one might be a little bit more difficult. Okay. Let's look at 28. It says, write the fractions to represent the shaded and the unshaded. Well, let's figure out how many shaded there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the shaded is 5 over the total. How many total pieces are there? Well, with that blank one, makes 6. Okay, now let's count the unshaded portions. Well, there's 1 over the total amount of slices, or over the total amount of portions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So B. Yes. Okay, keep going. Number 29 says list the proper fractions. Well, proper fractions are where you have the small number on top of the large number. So let's see here. 7 over 12, that's the small on top of the large. Woohoo! 14 over 13, nope. 7 over 2, nope. 11 over 4, nope. All 3 of those had tops that were bigger than the bottom. And then the last one, 3 over 4, says small over large. Yep, that one's good. So D. Okay, for the next one, it's talking about improper. Improper is where you either have the bigger number on top of the smaller number, or the same number over the same number, as in a whole, like WHOLE. Okay, so let's figure out which ones are improper. You have to have the big number on top. So definitely 59 over 3, not 6 over 37, not 4 over 5. Definitely 42 over 14. And then this last sucker says 40 over 40. That's the same over the same, or a whole number. And that's also improper. What? So D. That's the part that's going to trick you on your test. The same over the same number is an improper fraction. Okay, let's look at 31. Write the mixed number as an improper fraction. Well, we have to do Texas. T, X. And then we go bottoms up. 9 times 3 is 27. Plus that 2 is 29. All over, keep the same number on the all over, keep the same number on the bottom. 9. Yay, D. Texas. Okay, next sucker, it says go backwards. Write the improper fraction as a whole or a mixed number. Okay, well, we can do this with division. We can say 4 goes into 35 how many times? Well, let's see here. 4 cannot go into 3. 4 can go into 35 like 8-ish times. So automatically A and B are out. Okay, let's see what remainder I get. 8 times 4 is 8, 16, 24, 32. Then we subtract down 3. Okay, so my final answer is 8. Then we put your remainder over what you divided by. So 8, and my remainder is 3. What I divided by is 4. So 8 3/4. C. Okay, let's keep going. 33. Find all the factors of the number. That means what multiplies up to 36. Well, and this is just straight multiplication facts. 1 and 36. 2 and, if you want to try it, say 36 divided by 2. 2 can go into 36 once. 1 times 2, 2. Subtract down 1. Bring down the 6, 6. 2 can go into 16, 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract down is 0. Okay, so since I got a remainder of 0, that means 2 and 18 are factors. Okay, let's try 3. 3 goes into 3 once to get 3. Then we subtract down and you get 0, but then bring down the 6. 3 goes into 6 twice. 3 times 2 is 6. Subtract down and you get a 0. So 3 and 12 are factors because I got a remainder of 0. Okay, then you try 4. And 4 and 9 should be factors. Then if you try 5, 5 does not go into 36 evenly. I think it goes in there 7 times for sure, but then I have a remainder. Well, if I have a remainder, that means 5 and 7 are not factors. Okay, I think there's another one. Nope, I think we've got them all. Let's see. 1, 36, 2, 18, 3, 12, 4, 9. Oh, okay, and then I forgot. 6 can go into 36 6 times. So 6 and 6 are also a factor, but instead of writing 6 comma 6, we just write it once. So if you keep going, if you tried 7, 7 would not go into 36. 8 would not go into 36. No other numbers would go into 36. So our answer is C. Okay, let's look at 34. It says decide whether the number is prime or composite. Prime means that only one times that number exists. Composite means you have all kinds of things that multiply up to our 42. So let's see here. What numbers multiply up to 42? Well, I know 6 and 7 off the top of my head, so automatically it's not prime, because prime, the only numbers that multiply up are 1 and itself. So since 6 and 7 can go into 42, it's not prime. Okay, what about 71? 71, I don't think anything divides into 71. There's no multiplication facts. Or if you want to try it by hand, we would say, okay, 71 divided by 2. Okay. And if I do the division, I get a remainder of 1. And that means that 2 and 35 are not factors. So 2 does not work. Then you could try 3. So try to divide 3 into 71. And what will happen is you'll get a remainder. So that will not be a factor. Then you try 4 into 71. And what's going to happen is you're going to get a remainder every single time, which means this guy is prime. Okay, let's go to 36. 36 says find the prime factorization. What the heck? That means like do the little